Adam. Muhammad Sani was born on the 28th of March, 1978. He's also a businessman and trader in Forex and precious stones, operating in Kano and Yola. Yeah. All those people you go and sell your chain to, or some of them you buy from, you have no idea, but already change this and that. Those things are just cover. They have offices at different airports in Nigeria. All those things, they are just cover. I bet you probably knew that anyway. So, Muhammad Sani Adamu, his own 41 BVN-linked bank accounts across 14 banks revealed inflows of 54.1 billion naira and outflows of 54.4 billion naira, primarily in transfers to and from known convicts. He is recognized as the right-hand associate of Alhaji Saidu. These are still people operating, they are not in jail, even though they have links to those who are like convicted terrorists, as they are saying now. These ones are still operating everywhere. Why is that? How is that? There was no evidence of them being cleared by any court. No. They just never get tried or arrested, ever. Okay. There is another one. Muritala Abdullahi Jega. He was born on December 1st, 1970. Muritala Jega is a known Kano-based businessman and BDC operator with 94 accounts in 9 banks. He received 60 million naira from convict Bashir Ali Yusuf and transferred funds to Live Tobacco and commodities, reportedly used in procuring weapons for terrorist activities. He also received significant sums from associates of convicted individuals, reflecting deep entanglement in illicit networks. There should be more from that if the government is actually looking. And if they have looked and cleared them, they should come out and say, oh, we've cleared all these people. They are not, and give us the evidence of their clearance. That's how you do it. That's how you kind of win the public trust. But it will surprise you that all these names, they are linked to big financiers of different organs of APC in Nigeria. It will surprise you, or maybe not too much surprise to you. There are those who are hearing all these names, and they are watching this video right now, and they are calling me possibly a liar. Shut up your mouth. You don't even know this Alhaji very well. Because the Alhaji they know is a philanthropist, is a businessman, he's got trucks, he's got shops, he's got thousands of people working for him. What do you mean by his financing terrorism? I didn't say that. This is from the report that has been submitted to government. Government of Nigeria have these details. Oh, he's a big Alhaji. He has been rich since 1980. He says he has been rich since 1971. You know what I mean? But the thinking is this. There are many, many like them in that sense. So if you now have evidence of all these activities, it is right on government to now say, you know what, we need to dig further. Guess what? This whole information is also provided by government. See? And he was also killed by government. But in the process, the terrorists keeps getting their funding, they keep getting their money, they keep getting emboldened that they are going live on TikTok, man. Nigeria. Eh? Okay. Here is another one. His name is Sadiq Garba Abubakar. Now, Sadiq Garba Abubakar was born on the 10th of May, 1980. He operates as a trader in Kano and Abuja. So with 30 accounts across 13 banks, he transferred over 1.65 billion naira to convict Suraju Abubakar Muhammad between 2015 and 2017, as well as additional funds to other convicted individuals and their associates, establishing him as a central figure in financing operations. Do you want me to remind you of something, in case if you have forgotten? When this terrorist Boko Haram kidnapped the Chibok girls, in case Just to remind you of that, right? When they kidnapped the Chibok girls, and Bokwari came in and he negotiated for the part release of these, school girls then, right? What some of you, I don't know if you can remember, and if maybe you've forgotten, is that there was also another part of the deal. All these these were people convicted before Bokwari became your president. Oh. There is no any single convicted terrorist under the Bokwari's 8 years. So these were terrorists. There were Boko Haram terrorists in Kuje, in some of these prisons by Jonathan's government. But when Bokwari came in, including Kabiru Shokoto, he was in jail until Bokwari came in. And they started having legal representation for him and all of that. Before you know it, Kabiru Shokoto just fizzled out. You know the rest of the story. The investigation that we are talking about sharing now predates. So what other deal do you think Bokwari made during the release of the Chibok girls? In case if you have forgotten, it's not secret. Apart from paying them over $200 million that Boko Haram collected, Boko Haram also said, they also guaranteed the release of over 25 top Boko Haram terrorist leaders. In case if you have forgotten, yeah, just in case. They didn't just release the part of the Chibok girls. No. Bokwari paid them and also released top Boko Haram fighters, terrorist leaders that were in detention then. They were all released as part of the deal. You can Google it in case if I just rejig your memory there. Do you get? So these ones got an automatic cover. They were never questioned, and they are linked to this major terrorist. These are not even like Fulani terrorists too, because all of these ones predate Fulani terrorism. There is no concrete investigation against Fulani terrorism in Nigeria. Do you know that? Rather, everybody in government is now on the side of the terrorist, explaining to us and the only solution to peace was for us to give the terrorists our lands. Here you get now. We should part with our lands, part with our waterways if we want peace to reign. Government is telling us for years they've been campaigning that. They have invested hundreds of billions of naira trying to build ranches for these murderous terrorists. There is no investigation against Fulani terrorism in Nigeria, ongoing or abandoned ever. This whole thing is still about the ISWAP, Boko Haram, and those who are funding them. If they begin to open book on those who are funding the Fulani terrorism, around that time, you and I will probably agree and say, Baba, it's finish. Why can't they just break up this country and make everybody to go in separate ways? See what are you think what you buy for God's sake? Where exactly do you think you want to start from? That's why I said a serious government at this point, with all these names and all these records, will go back and get all these guys with the resources they have. They can start somewhere, which will then send messages to others who believe that they are untouchable because they are feeling untouchable. All this whole thing is just political talk. The political will to end it is not there. People's lives continue to be, the bargaining chip, unfortunately. But if they go after these no names to start with, that could be a start. There is another one called Husseini Adamu. This one is different from the other Husseini Adamu. Husseini Adamu was born on the 2nd of May, 1974. He's also a Kano-based businessman. Now, I don't see Kano. So Kano businessmen have been fingered as sponsor of terrorism in Nigeria. Please write that down. All right. So he said, a business with financial links to convicts, totaling billions of naira, transferring funds among members of the network. His role has been pivotal in facilitating funds across convict circles. Another one is Mustafa Ibrahim Yakubu. He was born on the 12th of December 1966. Mustafa Yakubu is also a businessman operating between Wuse and Kano. He has 39 BVN linked bank accounts, which revealed significant transfers, including 2 billion naira to Bahafs Global and $345 million to Murtala Jega, tying him to arms and logistics operations supporting Boko Haram. Another one is Ali Abdullahi Yusuf. Ali Abdullahi Yusuf, born on the 9th of September 1982, is also a Kano-based businessman and elder brother to convicts Ibrahim Ali Al-Azan and Bashir Ali Yusuf. His 43 accounts across 11 banks show transactions with Surajo. This one is also linked to Surajo Abubakar Mohammed, a terrorist, and more than 40 associates, underscoring his involvement in the financing network. Here is another one, Nasiru Shuaibu. Now, Nasiru Shuaibu was born on the 15th of June, 1973. Operates between Gusau and Minna. Gusau in Zamfara, Minna in Niger State. That's where he is based, a businessman. His 17 accounts across 10 banks recorded large inflows from convicts and other key associates, including 5.4 billion naira transferred from Muhammad Sani, highlighting significant financial facilitation. The other one is Yusuf Ghazali. Yusuf Ghazali was born on the 18th of March 1982, and he is also a forex trader in Kano with 385 bank accounts across 10 banks. He transferred funds to multiple convicts and is named in UAE court judgments as a facilitator of terrorist financing from Dubai to Nigeria. Another one is Mansour Muhammad Usman, who was born on the 22nd of April 1981. He is a textile dealer in Kano. Again, he was repeatedly identified in UAE judgment as a money transfer agent for Boko Haram, facilitating transfers of millions of naira and recruiting individuals into terrorist activities. This one's even like he's a recruiter. He maintained 18 accounts across 13 banks. Yazid Usman Muhammad, born on November 5th, 1985. Yazid Muhammad is a businessman in Kano with 5 accounts across 3 banks. Between 2015 and 2018, he received 830,000 naira, 950 naira from Mansour Usman Muhammad, and is mentioned in UAE court judgment as a money transfer agent supporting terrorist financing. You also have Alhaji Musa Emma. Musa Emma, born on the 1st of February 1962, he operates from Maiduguri with 15 accounts across 8 banks. So his accounts recorded consistent cash withdrawal exceeding 2.4 billion naira, with large inflows from convicts and their networks, suggesting a central role in money laundering and terrorist financing. Another one is Modu Sulum. The list goes on and on, right? With these details. So Sulu was born on the 7th of September 1972 in Maiduguri, Borno State. Now, Modu Sulu maintains a single BVN linked account. He has financial links with Musa Emma and other suspects in Maiduguri, an epicenter of the group's operations, indicating involvement in coordinated financial activities. Another one is Adamu Aliyu Kanoma, a jewelry dealer. A jewelry dealer born on the 1st of January 1979 in Gusau, Zamfara State. Adamu Aliyu Kanoma holds 83 bank accounts across 11 banks. He executed cumulative cash withdrawal over 10 billion naira between 2016 and 2020. Received funds from Bashir Ali, Yusuf, and other associates, and transacted with over 22 associates of the convicts and Alhaji Saidu. Receive fund that you are hearing now, ransom money. That's the receive fund you are reading there, right? Here's another one. Abibu Muhammad Usama. Now, Abibu Usama Muhammad, Abi Muhammad, he was born on the 7th of June, 1978. He's also a businessman in Gusau, Zamfara, with a 39 bank account across 12 banks. Now, they said he received 65 million naira from convicts, transferred 3 million naira to Alhaji Saidu, and conducted cash withdrawals exceeding 7 billion naira, indicating significant involvement in terrorist financial networks. You know, their own argument is that, what do you expect Bureau de Change to do? Is that not that they are dealing with money? Is that not that if you go there and you say you need $1 million cash, you will need Guinea corn, what do you expect to do? Well, that is in itself is called a cover. You going there to go and spend or ask them to sell you $1,000, or better still, ask them to change $100,000 to naira for you. You are the legit one. Behind the scene, that your $100,000 will eventually be used, and when they list other 100,000, 70,000, 40,000, 30,000, 20,000, 50, they can then list almost over $1 million behind your own legitimate one. So behind that is called terror funding. All right. So if you are not that smart to understand that money laundering is a two-way thing before terrorist funding joins, right? So money laundering is when you see those who are trying to hide money that they don't want anybody to tax. So if you don't want government to tax this money, then you probably use another means to taking it out. So how do you do it? You put it through a system. For example, you have, let's say I have a taxi company, and normally my taxis, I have, let's say, 50 taxis. Now, 50 taxis, everybody knows that I'm a taxi company. So which means I get money, legitimate money, as we are calling to fund. But that taxi company may not be making profit. Like, for example, traffic and the rest of that, which ordinarily would have made me profitable, but it's not coming. But everybody knows that I've got a taxi company. So if you now see drug dealers, you know, terrorists who needed their money to go through system and bank, they can send me money that I would then have to prepare a paper, sort of like a financial statement that will make every money coming from me. So when I take this money to the bank, I am a taxi company owner. So everybody knows I have a lot of taxis. I make money. It depends on, so if I enter the bank, every day and I say, oh, you know what? My taxi company made $60,000 this week. Meanwhile, the taxi company may not make up to $3,000. But because they know that I've got a lot of taxes and I can, you know what I mean? The bank will take the 60,000 from me. So by so doing, I have cleaned the money for the terrorists, cleaned the money for those who stole the money from government. So by the time I'm going to get them their money back, I could say they are supplying me parts, car parts, insurance, this. I could put up anything. That money will then go back to them. So that is why when terrorists want to collect their money and you say, okay, I'm just clearing this money so I could spend the money and say, oh, Maiyegun second company paid me because I was working, you know what I mean? So, but for terrorists, it allows those who are going to supply them weapons and all of that to receive the money without anybody flagging it, because it's going to be a clean money that somebody is just making a purchase. We're buying cars, meanwhile they are buying guns. We are buying some set of skins, meanwhile they are buying bombs. So all that cover is what the normal government investigation will unravel. That is when you are going to see somebody who is a big rice dealer. They arrested him for terrorism. Here you get, oh, a very massive transporter is a rich man. They arrested him for armed robbery. Then you'll be like, how can he be an armed robber? They say, no, he's a financier. So all the money they steal when they kill people or rob banks, they bring them to him. And that money goes straight into his business to look like legit. Then after that, he pays those people who work for him. Now we have arrested those who work for him. They have told us that he's the one who supplies their weapons and all that. That's why we have arrested him. You will now be wondering, man, this life, oh, hey. So that man, a very bad man. And many of them were never found out. Why? Not because they are smart. Maybe they are. It's because the system is so compromised, so bad, so dirty, that they could get away with it because somebody somewhere who should ensure due process is done, will use his position to make sure that that due process is never done. And once it's not done, you will never see them behind the bars. You will never get to the end of this. Let me drink water. I told you that it's going to be about talk. Because that's what makes it interesting. Not just reading it to you like that, all right? Now, if you are still with me, take your time, all right? Take a moment, rather.